So good afternoon, everyone. Please let me know if you can hear me, see me, and also see the slides. Just checking if everything is working fine. Type Y in the chat box if you can hear me clearly and see the slides. Thank you, Aniket. Thank you, Siddesh, for confirming. Thank you so much, everyone. And here we are on another learning journey that happens every single Saturday at 2 p.m. India time. And we have with us Dr. Anant Naik Nagappa today. Dr. Ananta, he's been an educationist and a researcher in pharmacy, and he has done a lot of work with respect to community pharmacy. He's been educating patients, creating a lot of awareness with respect to disease and medication use. And he's here today to share his experience in for our community pharmacy professionals. So basically, the objective of today's session is to create an awareness about pharmaceutical care and what it means to the community here in India, and how we can replicate the model of pharmaceutical care everywhere, right? Because without pharmaceutical care, whatever we are doing in isolation is not going to happen, right? So thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. And we have with us Dr. Ananta. Dr. Ananta, he has been an educationist for more than 3 decades. He's a great pharmacy professional. He intends to develop a model of pharmacy practice in India, very similar to what is happening in the US model, but it will also provide more effective healthcare to public besides providing better community pharmacy services. He is highly experienced community pharmacy professional, and he wishes to create both pharmaceutical care for PharmD professionals. Specifically, is focusing on PharmD professionals to create pharma care. So without further ado, I invite Dr. Ananta. Dr. Ananta, stage is all yours, and kindly share your learnings and what we have in for today.
Very good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Actually, the Community Connect or the community pharmacy has taken very deep roots in me, and I'm very much passionate about this community pharmacy practice.
Absolutely, sir.
Which is yet to start in our country.
Yes, sir.
The problem in our country is we have a world-class pharmacy, means the manufacturing facilities, and our so many facilities are approved by highest regulators, US FDA and European agencies. All these things have accepted our manufacturing capabilities and prowess. But what is happening in the field of pharmacy practice in our own country? It is very, very strange that we find that people are not getting their due. Means they are being taken for a ride. The law, regulation, inspector, and inspection, everything goes on. But when it comes to the actual delivery, there is a problem. There's a problem of delivery, because we must understand that drugs alone cannot solve the problems, because drugs alone are not the ultimate things. So the drugs are to be used with discretion in the presence or in the guidance of a well-learned pharmacist.
Yes, sir.
Or registered pharmacist, you may call it. But here, as we said, that registered pharmacist is a diploma in pharmacy, or maybe degree in pharmacy, or maybe a PharmD now in India.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you, sir. Sir, you wanted to share your slides as well while you are speaking?
Yeah, that will come. After that, I wanted to share. Anyway, I will share.
That's okay, sir. You can share the home slide and then you may continue talking, sir. That should be.
So we can, I'll go along with the slides also.
No problem.
Now the slides are visible, sir?
No, not yet, sir. Not yet, sir. Kindly click on the share button and then share, sir.
Okay.
Or if you're finding it difficult, I'll share from my end. No problems. Participants, meantime, please confirm if you can hear us clearly. If you are finding it difficult, let me know. We'll try to sort it out. And few of you are watching us from YouTube and some of you are watching on Zoom. So let's be.
So can you please share it? I'm finding it difficult.
Just give me 1 second, sir. I'm just sharing it. Just a second, sir. Yes, sir. I am sharing the slides. Please let me know when you want me to change. I'll change it from my end.
Okay.
This is the home slide. Is this okay, sir?
No, I'm not. See, actually, it has come to a full screen.
You can close your slides from your end, sir. You can just close everything.
And show, okay.
Except Zoom. You'll be able to see the slide on Zoom.
No, share screen is here. I can put on that, No,
I have already shared from my end, so you should be able to see.
Okay, now the problem in our country, as I said, the things are not as good as they seem to be. Our people, when they go to a healthcare facility, they don't get the due what they are expected to get. So they will go to a doctor or they'll go to a pharmacy and they will buy the medicines and start using them straight away.
Absolutely, sir.
Because medicines are not like that. They have to be the technical products, and there is a need for using these technical products in a correct manner. The appropriate manner is there, and that manner has to be guided by a pharmacist. This is what happens all across the world. In my journey so far, I have seen so many countries, and pharmacists play a major role in achieving the patient safety. And there is a little role we are playing here. So it is very funny to see that the drugs are treated like chocolates and toffees. People eat them as if they don't have any problem with the abuse of the drugs. Even prescription drugs I'm talking about, I'm not talking about the drug abuse. So we must be very careful, and we must be very cautious. So because the drugs are made after a lot of research and lot of studies on the toxicology and everything, and patient safety of the drugs are been assured. So in spite of it, so when it comes to the user, we throw all the rules into the sky and then say that nothing can be done in this country. We can use drugs as it is. So this attitude is very much bothering and very much this. See, it is not for the sake of pharmacists, but it is the people's health. The health will be deranged. Health will be deranged, and if they are not aware of the health. So in my journey, I have come across several case studies. So I will discuss one by one. Can I change? Can you please change the slide, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm on the second slide now, sir.
So here in this model, what we do is we have an association called the Association of Community Pharmacists of India, which was registered in 2007. From then onwards, we are working. So after doing a lot of experimentation and other things, we come to this kind of module. So here there is a pharmacy college, and pharmacy college gives the mentors and the interns, trainees. So these are trained in the basic skills of the measurement of blood sugar, measurement of blood pressure, and and then looking at the scenario of our country, a pharmacist is almost a trade person. He is only bothered about selling the medicine and getting the trade margin. And he can't think of any other service in the current scenario. So what we have made, these people will make a dialogue with the pharmacist, and they will go and at a specified time, they will go to the community pharmacy or retail pharmacy and ask some time there. So there the patients and consumers come there, and gradually the mentors and the interns, they will have a dialogue with the patient. They will have a dialogue with the patient. So this is usually to be done because students and mentors are teachers, and they are always busy in the working hours. So they can go in turn weekly once, one person with, along with 4-5 interns, they can go. But what we did, I'm telling you, same thing we did in Manipal. So we used to go there and sit in front of the medical shop, and then people used to come there, and we used to ask them their BP, their blood sugar, and BMI. We used to measure it, and give a record to them. So in that process, they were, and it was a free service. So people were happy that we are getting a free service. And unfortunately, they don't know what is the outcome of the results means. So suppose the blood sugar goes very high, they don't know what to do. So they usually go to a doctor, and they will show it to him, and he will study the case, and he will immediately prescribe some medicines, and then in a hurry he will send them off. So there is no detailed information or interaction with the patient, which is needed for this thing. So gradually we want to develop it as it happens in the developed countries. Can I have the next slide, please? So community is a group of people, and living in the same place, having a particular characteristics in common. For example, locality, you can call it as a locality as a community. A pharmacy where the drugs are dispensed, and practice is the use of one knowledge in a particular profession. So here in this case, we have a community here. We have the people, patients, and health consumers, and a pharmacy just for dispensing. It is the trading of the drugs, and practice is missing, as the pharmacists are not aware of the practice. So now we have to call upon our mentors and interns. It should happen in every college. Community Connect program should happen in every college, and they should be able to give a proper service, and then the professional name will come up. Next slide, please. So these are all the definitions. I don't want to spend time on this. Can you skip this, sir? Yeah, the major functions of the pharmacy profession: R&D, manufacture and quality assurance, drug information. See, it's called as drug information, and drug information: who wants it, who gives it, how it happens. I want to make a comment on this. See, the drug information is the information of the how to use it, and this is given by the pharmaceutical industry to the doctors only. It will not go beyond doctors, and doctors will use this medicine as per their as they've been informed. So drug information is also very much underdeveloped, and then there is a need for us to elaborate this kind of information services given by the pharmacists to the public and also to the doctors. So they should not get the information from the industry, as the industry will not give the proper information. They give biased information and make the try to hide the uncomfortable, which is going to harm the sale of the use of the product. They will not deliberately. They will try to underplay that information. So all these things are there, and in such a scenario, we have been working now. Now we have to take upon this in a proper manner. Yeah. Slide change. So there are so many other activities which are required by the pharmacist to be done in the community. The prescriptions need to be checked. So it is not that doctor will write always correct prescriptions and there will be no errors. So the processing of prescription means the finding out any mistakes which is going to harm the patient safety. That has to be looked very critically. So that is very much important. Care of the patients or clinical pharmacy, that is happens. monitoring the drug utilization. Some of the times what happens, the same prescription is being written and in different names. We are having large number of companies and large number of formulations. Duplication is quite possible and there is no point in giving more and more drug in different names. It is not going to help the therapy. So that's why we have to monitor the drug utilization and we have to do it. Earlier, we used to have a manufacturing section or extemporaneous preparation, and now due to industries giving everything, so we have not stopped that. Now extemporaneous or the in Bangalore there used to be a cash pharmacy where when I was a student at that time they used to manufacture. Even some hospitals do have the extemporaneous preparations, and there is a need to revise this because this has got an advantage to give the exact doses to the patient. See, now what is happening is the manufacturers are making fixed dose combinations, and these combinations sometimes are asked to break it down into small pieces and given. So instead of it, an extemporaneous preparation is to be made, and it is to be done as per the quality of the things. So GMP and all, there is a community, there is a pharmacy, hospital pharmacy is there, and that you have to manufacture. And we should also focus on the traditional and alternative medicines. Don't think that the drugs of allopathy are the golden drugs and they are going to do all the good to the people. But again, we have to look into the out of the box and we have to find out any addition. See, important is patient. Patient should be cared very much. So for the patient-centric care, what all possible for us, what all good we can make, we must go for it. And there are many, during COVID time, we had all this, lot of symptoms are there. And they were all of minor ailments like cough, cold, fever, and all these things. So that was the time when our pharmacists actually came into prominence by their way of helping nature. But they are technically, they are not so strong. So there is a need for them to technically build their knowledge base with the help of the mentors and the interns. So next, so there is another important thing is health promotion should be there, not the disease prevention. Health promotion should be our priority rather than the disease prevention. May I have the next slide, please? So branches are, there are so many branches are there. I have mentioned very few. So can I have the next slide, please? So there is there are mild ways of hope that the country will be changing its climate and patient-centric care will come. So it was hoped that the Doctor of Pharmacy course may be driving this community connect program or the patient-oriented care. May I have the next slide, please? So this is a very important document. You please go through this document. This is the Gazette of India's publications about the pharmacy practice. So first few pages are in the Hindi and then followed by the English. So this is a very, very important thing which empowers. In 2015 itself, it has come out with a clear this thing that what is the role of the pharmacist in the community pharmacy, clinical pharmacy and hospital pharmacy. Can I have the next slide, please? So this is the notification in exercise of powers conferred Pharmacy Act. In Pharmacy Act, it has come. So it is approved by the central government. So may I have the next slide, please? So just a previous slide, please. What is the practice means? So let us, as per the law, for practice of pharmacy means interpretation of the prescription, evaluation of the prescription, and implementation of medical order. So for example, if it is a military, the medical order will be there, dispensing of prescriptions or drug orders. Can I have the next slide, please? So previous, okay. This is all about the privileges of the pharmacist. And can I have the next slide, please? So there is a provision to collect the professional services also. Please understand, you pharmacists, you are legally empowered to provide services and charge for that like any other profession in the country. Okay, next slide, please. So duties of the registered pharmacist for the patients. So we have to identify therapeutic duplication is there, drug disease interaction is there, drug interaction is there, incorrect dosage or duration of drug treatment, and drug allergy interactions, correlation and availability of the drugs, clinical abuse and misuse of the drugs. See, what's happening in the country is it is going in a very blind manner. The pharmaceutical industry, there is no regulation for them how much of the medicine they have to manufacture for a year. So they go on manufacturing endlessly, and there may be more supply than the demand. So then the people will come in the market and they will compete with each other and practice unethically and makes the doctor to write so many medicines. So no personal. So now the Drugs and Cosmetics Act and Schedule N says who can practice the pharmacy, who can manage the drugs. It is not that the doctors have to make it, not the nurse have to make it, or a pharmaceutical industry has to make it. It is the registered pharmacist. He has to be at the helm of affairs, and he should prevent. He should cultivate. But again, the pharmacist who is now at the thing is a diploma holder, and he doesn't have much knowledge and also not courage, nothing, no psychological confidence that he can do all these things. So we have to change the scenario. That is what the Form D people are expected to do. Okay. Next slide, please. So rational use of drug, we can talk length of a bit. So when the drugs are prescribed, we have to ask why this drug is prescribed to this patient. And the prescriber should be able to come out with a ration, come out with a logic, come out with an idea that why he is prescribing this medicine and what is going to happen. So that is called as the promotion of rational use of drugs. So there is rampant irrational use of drugs in the country. So many studies have done, publications have come, but still the things are going on in the wrong direction. And it is our responsibility to raise the hue and cry, because who are these people to whom they are prescribing medicine? They are very close to us. They are my friends. They are having so many innocence. The problem is the patients in this country having a lot of innocence, and they believe that the Narayana Vaidyohari, whatever doctors say, it is final. So if they can go like this, then they land up in problem, because Narayana Vaidyohari is a yesterday slogan. Nowadays is the business. Business has occupied or replaced the prescribing habits, and has led to a lot of irrational prescribing and irrational use of drugs. Next slide, please. So counseling, what do you mean by counseling? Why we have to make counseling? See, in our practice, we have visited in the community and we come across so many examples where people are suffering or having ignorance, and they don't know, they're landing up in problem. For example, the erythromycin and azithromycin. So many people don't understand why azithromycin to be taken on empty stomach, and why erythromycin to be taken on the along with the meal. So there's so many things are there. Like every drug has its unique characteristics, specifications, and these specifications, when we follow, then only it can lead to patient safety, or we can expect a good outcome. If any of these things are not followed or practiced, patients are going to suffer. Okay. Next. So, okay. There are various chapters are there. This chapter is about the registered pharmacist duties to public and to the professional colleagues like doctors and nurses. May I have the next slide, please? So unethical practices, then chapter 7 talks about unethical practices, making the people to consume more drugs because it earns more trade margin. With the sole idea of earning the trade margin, he is selling the peddling or he's pushing the prescription drugs to the people, which should not happen. And advertising is also banned, and rebates and commissions. Nowadays, it is a very big challenge is there for the retail pharmacy, for independent retail pharmacy, as there are online pharmacies which are offering 30 to 40% rebate. Do we buy drugs to save money, or money is more important than the drugs? So this question we have to make people think and take the right decision. So they should not succumb to this discount war, and they should not buy these medicines. Why I am telling you is this discount war will not do to economy, not do anything to the patients and public, not do anything. So government has to intervene and ban these unnecessary discounts, 30% and 40%, luring the people to buy medicines more and more. So this is a very wrong thing, and it has to be condemned by all the learned pharmacists. Can I have the next slide, please? And if the misconduct is there, what is the problem we are going to face? This is mentioned in the Pharmacy Act, the Pharmacy Practice Act of 2015. So can I have the next slide, please? Okay. So this is the Code of Ethics. Next slide, please. Format of prescription record one has to keep, yeah. But it is there, but it is not in practice, you know. It is already written and law is there, and there is nobody is checking. So there are pharmacy practice inspectors are there. State Pharmacy Council is supposed to make the inspectors, and these inspectors are supposed to go and check in the medical shop whether they are maintaining any record of this. So that is that nobody is maintaining. The law is there, that law won't do anything good unless we take things law seriously and challenge the wrong practices. Yeah. So these are all the few exciting experiments when we started our work. This is in 2016, I think. It was 2008 when I was in Manipal. So a registered pharmacist by Devyani, she came to me. She came from Kathmandu University, and she requested me to guide a small project on diabetes mellitus, which we did, and her experiments were very much appreciated, or very much found to be very useful. Next slide, please. So this is the measurement of the quality of life before pharmaceutical care to the right side, and after pharmaceutical care is also given. So in that way, she proved that pharmaceutical care is an important approach for prevention of or enhancing the patient care safety levels. Yeah, next slide, please. So community outreach program, we have to go out and meet the people and learn their problem. So situation is like that in this country. Nobody can help. Why is like this? Why people are not interested? Why people won't come to learn about the drugs, disease, lifestyle conditions? Because they have not come across any good pharmacist. That's why they are doing like that. So they have to, we have to go and meet the people in the a community pharmacy outreach program so that we can be able to help the people in their health issues. Community network pharmacist, all India, okay, these are all the things we have to do it. So what is this community network pharmacist? So we have launched a WhatsApp group. May I have the next slide, please? So this is what the pharmaceutical care cards. We made our own cards as an initiative of our this thing. So we made a card. Here we write about the patient's name, identity, and what he was prescribed, and what is the note of our intern. We will take it down. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is the another slide, flip side, the flop side of the thing, wherein we have we used to go to the patient's home and check their fasting sugar, postprandial sugar, random blood sugar, blood pressure, height, weight, and give the card with them. And we used to go once in a week, and we used to maintain a record. In that way, the patients or the health consumers, then they find that some healthcare professional is coming to our home and helping us in this thing. So automatically, our identity was established. Next slide, please. So pharmaceutical care is the response. So these are all the history of pharmaceutical care. FIP and WHO are very much interested in bringing up this change in these developing countries so that the patients become safe and drug therapies becomes affordable. All these are the advantages. And unnecessary using medicines because doctor has prescribed or some promotion policy is there, that has to be avoided. So it is going to counter all these things if we have got the practicing mode, or if we at least give 1 or 2 hours per day, or 4 hours or 5 hours in a week. In this way, we can change the scenario of the pharmacy practice. Yeah. So pharmacy practice means we are thinking that it is a big science and how we have to start. There is nothing like that. So people will ask you very simple questions that for you it is simple, but for them it is a big problem, and you have to help them by giving a correct answer to their query. Yeah, may I have the next slide, please? So this is the model of the WHO FIP, World Health Organization, and Federation of International Pharmacy. In 2005, they came out with this module. There is a handbook of pharmacy practice. They have brought it. And from this book, so many people have contributed. So many people all across the globe, they are invited, and they have to make a document like this. So in the document, the chapter 2, it is there. So patients receiving or requiring a pharmaceutical product or service, and then assess the needs and identity of the drug problem, so that prescription will come to the pharmacist. In the step 1, pharmacist will assess the needs and identify the drug problems. And step 2, develop a care plan and explain it to the patient, and then ask him to come again after a period of time, 1 week, 2 weeks, like that, whatever the things are there. So when it comes, it will be reviewed, his condition along with the receipt. So if there are some problems with the diagnosis of the disease in the patient, that should be referred to the doctor. And if there are any drug problems in using the medicines or drug-drug interactions, discomfort in the patient, the pharmacist has to resolve it. And nursing care should be given appropriately. And again, the patient is asked to come again after periodicity. So usually in 3 months, there will be 9 visits by the patients every 10 days. And what are you going to do in those 10 days? So we are going to update the patient knowledge about his condition and the self-management. We want to stress upon the self-management of his condition or her condition, which is a very good thing for the pharmacy to happen. Otherwise, they have to go on, doctor, who is busy, and he will write just prescription and send it. What's happening in a patient doesn't know. Okay, so this is the systematic approach to the delivery of pharmaceutical care. Okay, next slide, please. So here is a wonderful case study. Can anybody help me in reading this? Manoj?
Yes, sir. Participants, please do that. You can just, write your answers in the chat box, or if you want to unmute, raise your virtual hand. I'll unmute you, and then you can also talk. We'll wait for a few seconds. We're just waiting for the responses.
This is a case in the handbook of pharmacy practice. This case is to be discussed. Can you please read on my behalf?
Okay, sir. I'll read it for you, sir. Mrs. W, a 53-year-old woman, has had gastrointestinal acid-related disorders, GORD, diagnosed by endoscopy. Mrs. W has a history of asthma, hypertension, and duodenal ulcer. Her current therapy includes amlodipine 10 mg in the morning, salbutamol inhaler, 2 puffs as required, beclomethasone inhaler 200 mcg twice daily, and theophylline 300 mg twice daily. Mrs. W has recently undergone successful H. pylori eradication therapy, which has been confirmed by carbonuria breath test. Mrs. W smokes 10 cigarettes a day, has a body mass index of 35, and does not drink alcohol.
So you can counter this type of patients in your community. Now, what is your response? How you have to do it? So the committee has solved the case. Can you come down? Next slide.
Yes, sir. I'm on the next slide.
See, whenever a case is presented to you, you must divide the case into lifestyle factors, drug factors, and disease factors. So, as she is having the reflux disorder, esophageal sphincter tone is dependent on the nicotine concentration. So, if you can convince the patient that if he reduces the cigarette, there will be improvement in the burning sensation in the esophagus, because the more the nicotine, the esophageal sphincter tone will be opened and acid will come out and burn the esophagus. So this way, if you can convince if you have to connect this thing to the patient, then the patient's counseling, there is in this way, the things are going to happen. See, I'm talking about the obesity. So we have, in our practice, we have come out with a wonderful solution. The people about the weight, overweight, obese, or highly obese patients, they should be having a problem for understanding the food. So we used to ask them to give the diary of their diet last week, 1 week diary we want to, and in that thing, we used to observe many of them were eating a lot of carbohydrates, eating less protein, and imbalanced diet. So as a result of it, the weight is gained again and again. So and also the lifestyle also is not very good, because sedentary lifestyle is the very easy, and that's why they're all the causes of the lifestyle only. So we used to tell them that. So when the patient came to me with the overweight, so it happened when I was in Manipal. The patient came there and he showed his prescription, and he had a lot of drugs. Statins were there, and phenopharmin is there, and all the drugs which are going to reduce the weight, and BP drugs were there. So he said that doctor has prescribed. Now I'm confused. How many drugs I have to take? So I said, okay, you do one thing. What is your profession? I asked him. He is from a village from the Shimoga district. And then he said that I'm a farmer. and I grow the lentils, legumes, rice, and all these things. But as far as the food is concerned, we are all fond of rice. We eat a lot of rice. Then I said that the problem is with your eating habits. Please change them. You take fistful of moong. So moong, green gram, and soak it in water, and next day morning you eat. So like that, 6 months he has to eat. Let him take anything, food, drug, everything, but this also let him follow. So what has happened? The protein deficiency has been addressed. So as a result of it, he started losing weight. After 6 months, he came in front of me and said that, sir, I have followed your instructions. I ate the green grams, which has grown in my own field. Now my weight is, lost my weight. Now I'm happy that our other conditions related to weight are not haunting me. So this is the way, very simple green gram. If he eats for every day, for this thing, sprouted, the weight is going to adjust automatically. There's no need for them, because hard work is there. When he's a farmer, he must work hard. But again, still his diet was not proper. So we have to look into the patients very near and understand what is the problem. See, the same green gram, I gave it to one of my colleagues who was having a lot of acidity, Whatever he eats, his acidity is going to, was he not getting night sleeps. Everything was a lot of problems are there with the acidity. And all the KMC doctors, Ayurvedic doctors, allopathic doctors, all these people have tried to address this problem, but he could not, they were not able to solve his problem. And I asked him, what is your diet? Sir, I am a South Indian, Tamil, and I eat lot of idli, dosa, pongal. I said, have you checked the protein content in your diet? Oh, sir, it is very little. For the, he's also my colleague. He could able to understand what I'm talking about. And he said that, so what should we do? Then I said, you eat the lentils, legumes, like green gram you can start, because green gram is very soft and mild and doesn't cause any health GORD type of situation. No, sir, gas will come. See, I said, you are a pharmacist and you have studied physiology. What is the meaning of gas? Please tell me. So he was not able to explain, and I said, these are all myths. So to eat for 1 month, let us see what will happen. So he took my suggestion seriously, and he took one fistful of moong every day for 1 month. Automatically his acidity was leveled up. See, this question comes, how this acidity is related to the eating of proteins. Definitely, what is my first year B.Pharm knowledge, in that we learned that the hydrochloric acid is secreted in the stomach with the purpose of digestion of the proteins. When you don't eat proteins, what that protein has to do? It has to do other work. When you don't give any job to the hydrochloric acid, what it will do? It will damage the gastrointestinal tract. That's what was happening. So when I suggested this, he could able to do it. Anyhow, if you look at the nutrition status of every patient, they will be having a, definitely they will be having a protein deficiency. Because that is what we can find, because we are not eating healthy food. We don't eat healthy, we don't give much prominent to healthy food. We are more prone to the taste than the content quality. So this one we have to tell to every patient, and especially the college going girls used to come to the medical shop and they used to ask for backache. So what is this backache? Backache is due to, again, the nutritional deficiency, I understood. And they used to buy the drugs like diclofenac sodium, nimesulide, and aspirin, paracetamol. They used to take it, and it used to temporarily give a relief. But what happens gradually? So then what happened gradually was the patient, they used to land up in hyperacidity and all. So the important thing is, we again told the girls were in the hostel, they are not at the home. So they said that they expressed their. So I said, don't worry. In your hostel room, you keep half kilo of green gram, and every day you eat it. And it is also very tasty. So when they started practicing this, their backache is gone. So in the way, I used to advocate moong to everybody. And it used to give good results. So they used to identify me in the community of moong ka doctor hai. I did not mind that nickname they gave me, the community, but again, it helped so many people. So we must advise them correct, we must advise the people this thing. So further we come to this case, then what happens? So the drug factors here, the pharmacists have to play a major role. As you know that doctors won't study the chemistry, pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmaceutics, all these topics are studied by us because we are going to make the drugs and formulations. So calcium channel blockers also reduce the lower esophageal sphincter. As she is hypertensive, so antihypertensive should be given. So you know that there are 10 categories of antihypertensive drugs are available. 10 different antihypertensive drugs are available. So why that calcium channel blocker? It can be given any other drug which will not lower the esophageal sphincter. For example, diuretic, bendrofluoride, that can be given, that will not harm anything. That is a suggestion you, as a pharmacist, you must give to doctor if the patient is having that problem. So theophylline also reduces esophageal sphincter tone. Review asthma, as she is having asthma also. So asthma is there. Why asthma is there? So asthma was not earlier. After this GORD, asthma also has come. So what's happening is, when she is having GORD, the esophagus, when she sleeps in the night, the fumes of acid will enter the lungs and cause this is hyperacidity linked asthma. So as she is cured by H. pylori eradication and also confirmed that she doesn't have the H. pylori infection anymore, it is done by a urea breath test, they will say. What is urea breath test? So urease is produced by H. pylori, and human being don't make that H. pylori urease enzyme. So when you give the radioactive urea along with the meals, if there is an enzyme, means if there is an infection, then it will be metabolized to urea, into ammonia and carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide is measured, radio labeled carbon dioxide can be measured in the urea breath test. So like that, we have to do it. And if it comes negative, then immediately as a pharmacist, you must do the review of asthma. Review of asthma is not a rocket science. It is small P flow meter is there. So in that P flow meter, you ask the patients to blow air. So his respiratory volumes are recorded. If his respiratory volumes indicate that it is healthy respiratory volumes, they are not less, then he might not be having asthma at all. So you can refer the patient to the doctor and let him also review. And if he also finds out there is no asthma is there, and all the anti-asthmatic drugs, whatever she is taking, is not necessary. It can be removed from her prescription. What a good contribution by the pharmacist. And this is how we can help the patient, doctor, and also save the money for the. Can I have the next slide, please? Can I have the next slide? So, home medication review. I told you the patients are not keen to talk to pharmacists because they don't have ideas. The pharmacist is a person who can improve their health. So what they will do, they will go to medical shop and they will not stand there for even for 1 minute. After getting the prescription, they will run away. So they hate to stand, they hate to wait in front of the medical shop. But when I went to Canada, My student in Kamloops, a small village in Vancouver, Pradeep, done his B Farm and established his own pharmacy. Nearly, he is of my age only, he's maybe around 62 or 63. So I went there. So I visited his pharmacy and I saw a surprising thing, which is not possible in my country. Patients and health consumers are standing in a queue to talk to a pharmacist. To talk to a pharmacist, they were talking, they were waiting, and they used to come one after the other, and they used to listen carefully about this thing, and they used to ask about their health and what medication they have been given, what is the name of the medication, what dose they have to, how they have to do. All these things they used to take. Can you imagine such a thing in India? Everything is to be done very quickly. So the patients are very impatient. This is the problem. So now the patient who spends and talks, have a dialogue with this thing. Of course, Raj Pharmacy is doing it. I'm very well aware. Raj Pharmacy, I know Raj Vaidya is the thing. It is a very good initiative. But again, in front of India, it is a very small contribution. But anyway, he is contributing a lot. That's a very big thing, irrespective of all odds. Because when you do such things, when you talk like this, you will be considered as a mad person or a sad person. So this is what our society is considering. So don't worry about it, what people will consider you. You have to take this step and you have to do good to the people. With that intention, you have to go out and do the good to the people. Another slide, please. Is there not some this thing? So we have to change the therapy to the patient focused. Now the product oriented, product centered approach is there. That has to change to the patient oriented approach, because that's the only way we can left to us. If you go on praising the product, if you go on selling the pharmaceutical products are great, you take this, then you will be cured. It is going to cure. It is a blind white lie. So drugs are the tools, they are not the end. So they are only the means, they cannot solve any problem unless we use them in a judicious manner, in a rational manner. Their contribution to health will be negative, and we have to suffer a lot because we did not learn, we did not use the drugs properly. So can I have the next slide, please? So healthcare services are work in a team. So physicians, nurses, and healthcare and pharmacists should always good to the patient. They are called patient-centric care. Even WHO emphasizes on this. Everybody is emphasizing on this, but we are not able to understand how to bring it to the practice, how to change the mentality of the pharmaceutical industry. Of course, if you have good regulations, good regulators, it can be brought. Again, there also we don't have good regulators and good regulations. Why such thing doesn't happen in a developed country? Because there are strict observance, there is strict vigilance of what the doctor is doing while he's practicing. So you must be heard of the medical transcription industry. What is that medical transcription industry? The doctor has to give in the US or in a developed Europe and other thing. Doctor has to submit what treatment he gave and why treatment he gave to the while closing his clinic at the end of the day or in the morning when he comes. Unless he comes there with these responses, results, he is not allowed to give service to other patients. So that's why these doctors will ask some medical transcription company, they'll give the prescriptions and the medical transcription is done, and then that they are going to upload it and then get a permission to this. Can you imagine such a thing in India when it will happen? Doctors are prescribing like anything. So I got remembering one important thing here. So I came across a person who is my friend also, Dr. Madhavan, you must be knowing. So he is got a brother who is who is a pediatrician. So he went to see his um, uh, brother. He asked the brother was busy with seeing the patients. A lot of patients were queuing up. All children pediatrician. So all mothers were holding the children. And he used to complete the prescription, diagnosis, everything in a minute or maybe in 2 minutes. So queue of 50 to 60 patients. This is a common thing in India. Anywhere you go, you feel a lot of patients queuing up, and doctor has to do justice to everybody. So what he used to do is he used to quickly he used to write a prescription and send. That's all. And the consultation fee comes to him, and nothing is going to question what he has prescribed, what is wrong and right, and nobody is going to check. So doctors are, patients are having faith that doctors are God. So this type of treatment is happening even in many places in the country. Especially, we have to put a break to these things. Doctor has to spend time, has to take the help of the pharmacist, nurse to give his service in a proper manner. Can I have the next slide, please? So all of us, like a team, we have to work. So the pharmacist has to join that team. Now we are waiting the pharmacist to take initiative, and it can start, it can begin. Next slide, please. So home medication review means in the home we have to go and see the patients. So because there's an increase in diabetes, blood pressure, and then there is an increase in use of medicines, polypharmacy is there. People will go and ask the medical shop wala, can you give my problem is this, can you give me a medicine? He will give one medicine. He's not satisfied with that. We'll go to another pharmacy, we'll buy another one. So there is no record, there is no regulation, there is no rules. Anybody can get any prescription medicine without any prescription. So there are people who are suffering from drug-related problems, and then drug-related death may be there. And patients also, while using medicines, as they are very closed minds, they will not, although they have seen a good doctor and has given a good prescription, and he is using in between, he finds some trouble, medical adverse effects, medicine medical adverse, he will not go and consult a doctor. Usually he will want to resolve at his level. He will stop taking the 2 tablets are there, let him take 1 tablet. If there are 4 medicines are there, let me discontinue one. Irrationally, he doesn't have any idea, he'll stop it. What is the effect on the health? What is the effect on the health? So that's why compliance issues can be viewed if we go and meet the patient at their home. And adverse drug reactions is there. If there are any adverse drug reactions is there, who is going to, whom the patient or the health consumer has to see? It is the pharmacist. We have to give an idea, but when they go to doctors also will say, okay, they are not experts in adverse drug reactions and all these things. So whatever they will say is that you will come for next time. So next time when you go, you would have asked a medical representative, such a problem is there in this product, what we have to do. So he might have given. So the problem of brand drugs and the insistence of the doctors and patients also to use these brand drugs is very much, and it is very funny that when the government has started with the Janaushadhi Pharmacy Kendra, where there are a lot of medicines were brought to the 1/10 cost, 60 to 70% cost, and given to the patients, and these doctors lobby and the pharmacy lobby said that they are good quality, but gradually over the period, the Janaushadhis are picking up and people are getting the good medicine. So generic medicine means what? It should be, it doesn't have any marketing or packaging cost over it. Very simple packaging. So that's why they can give a cheap rate. And government itself is started the initiation, and the Janaushadhi Act also is there. So through that they are giving they're doing experiments. But the utilization, the ignorance of the people, who will fight? That's the problem. Okay. Next slide, please. So next slide, please. Next slide, please. So there are some photographs I would like to show you. So there are in prescription, we used to see, we are supposed to see, is there any medication without indication? So many times the prescriptions are added, medicines are added without any indication. Sometime because there is nobody checking, there is no documentation, nothing. So whatever he prescribes is the final thing. So there are so many people want to do business in this very unhealthy, unethical thing. So they will go on adding more and more drugs to prescriptions. So it is the people also think that it is good if drugs are good for my health. So there is a problem in this. There is understanding, misunderstanding is there. So these are the problems. So untreated indication. There is some actually there's a problem, and the doctor have ignored it. So we have to check and tell. So improper drug selection, including improper cost effectiveness, subtherapeutic dosage and overdosage form, continued use of medication for a condition that has been resolved. In the last case, you have seen so many issues we can solve like that. Okay, next slide, please. So these are all the various issues. Okay. Can I have the next slide, please? So we have to collaborate. We have to collaborate with the as a pharmacy teacher, you have to collaborate with the students, take them to the medical shop, ask them to provide services to the public. So this is the importance of community connect program. So we have to conduct various these things. So this needs a lot of efforts and courage, because when we started doing, we had a problem of getting the patient's approval, because it is not illegal. See, it is the law has itself provided that you go and talk to people, you do service to people, you fight with the ignorance of the people. Pharmacy practice guidelines clearly mentions that, but we are not doing anything. We are happy with our own college, conference, all these things. We have to come out of the shell. Remember, we have to come out of the shell and address the patient needs. It's not only the manufacturing, and lot of money is there in community pharmacy. Lot of money is there for the services. In your own batchmates would have to have told you. Your own classmates might have told you. And community pharmacists in foreign countries, especially developed countries like USA, Canada, Britain, European Union, Australia, they earn money for not for selling more medicines, but for providing service to the innocent people. They have got innocent people like this also. They are not experts in medicines. They are having a respect and responsibility, and they will learn. And when they give this knowledge, government will pay them money. Government will pay the money. In Australia, government is going to sponsor the community pharmacy services. Here also in our country, we must say that they should provide the money to the pharmacist who provides the services, because the services are required. The services are required. They are very essential. Okay. Next slide, please. So these are all the tools for identifying the potentially inappropriate prescribing. We are also knowing these things. Next slide, please. So this is a very important photograph. You look at the patient and look at the interns. So If you are working in a pharmacy college, please ask me to recognize yours as a community connect center. We will start internships. We will give mentors the certificate and interns also certificate. And there is no charge. Association of Communities is a registered body, and it is not going to charge any money from the student, from the intern, from the college, from the community pharmacy. So we have to do it service. See the interest of the student's eye, this curiosity in the other student's eye, and the patient, and what is happening afterwards. Can I have the next slide, please? So bed-ridden patient in our own home, we are going weekly once or twice, and we are monitoring the blood pressure. And when we find that the blood pressure is not monitored properly, what is the reason for that? So we have to work on that. That is our domain, We have to work on that, and we can tell them that lifestyle changes. For example, the common salt, the pickle. Everybody is fond of the taste. They go by taste. They don't understand there is a direct relationship of the salt consumption, common salt consumption, and the blood pressure. So we can suggest them with the alternatives. They can use the salt taste enhancers like lemons and the imli. These are all the enhancers of the and tomato for that matter. So all these things can reduce the salt burden without getting the patient into a trouble. Especially the diabetes also. Next step, please. So this patient is bedridden, and we gave their service. And what is the impression after all doing this service, you may ask? So patients started expecting us week after week, and then they started respecting us. And they also said that, good, you please visit us because it is going to help. Because when we gave them the suggestions like what is the lifestyle modifications, how to use the medicines, how to manage their health, their quality of life improved, and we could see it in the next case. Another slide, please. So this is the intern writing entering the details in the pharmaceutical card, and this card was given to the patients so that they will see and they will get motivated with their own readings. Yeah, next slide, please. So we are going to review the case. Nobody wants the answer immediately. Please understand. You can discuss with your team and get the answer. And nowadays, with the phone, we can give them the answers. WhatsApp is there. So many good things are there. So with that, we can help the patients. Yeah. Next slide, please. Yeah. Next slide, please. So expand the professional service is going to reflect in the new image for pharmacy services and better intervention. Improve the patient knowledge, dosage, frequency, indication, time, and compliance. Reduce the unscheduled appointment and decrease the hospital visits. So there will be reduction in the hospital visits. There are so many papers I have collected. I'm going to share with you. Increase the patient empowerment and engagement and self-management of the patient possible, and improve the quality of life of the patients. When somebody is looking at the patient and he becomes more responsible, and he will be more truthful. Okay, next slide, please. So to government, cost saving, reduce the wastage of unused drugs, improved perception of pharmacy department services. So these are to the government and other places. Next slide, please. So these are all the various studies or interventions recommended by pharmacists during home medication review, evidence-based. So the study is there. So a full-length paper is there. It is published in the Journal of Evaluation of Clinical Practice. Next slide, please. So these are the things. Next slide, please. So what are the recommendations made by the pharmacist? Next slide, please. So these are all the summary of the home medication review. So now I came across a video where doctors are visiting homes for giving the care to the elderly persons, geriatric patients. A group of doctors in Bangalore have started a home medication review, home patient condition review. Why can't a group of pharmacists can do in our Bangalore or any other places? Next slide, please. So these are all the various studies. Continuously, it is telling that the community pharmacists are going to play a good role, and their intervention is the requirement. It is going to improve the healthcare quality of life of the patients. Next slide, please. Yeah. Next slide. I think I'm coming at the end. So this is the thing: knowledge, practice, skills, and attitude. At the beginning, we are having no confidence. From here, when we start doing work, gradually our practice will lead to improvement in skills, and attitude of the people gets changed, and our knowledge also gets sharpened. Next slide, please. Thank you very much. Have any questions you can ask?
Perfect. Thank you so much, sir, for that excellent session. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm sure there is so much to learn and practice, because unless we practice, whatever we learn is not going to have any impact. So now participants, there is a quick Q&A time we'll have for about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes if you are interactive. If not, I'll ask some questions to sir and then we'll wrap up the session for today. Okay, so sir, there is so much to learn and so much to practice. Okay, so participants, you can raise your virtual hand on Zoom and I'll unmute you. And that's how we do normally. And if you have some specific question, you can also put in the chat box. I'll read out the question for you. That's how we do it all the time. And, before you start asking anything, I'll have some questions to ask to sir. So sir, there are so much of concerns, a lot of registered pharmacists who open medical stores. They want to do this community service and they start somewhere, but they're clueless, given the kind of business that is happening and given the kind of competition that is happening. Many of these pharmacists, they feel there is, not much of opportunity in providing community service. So what is your thoughts and suggestions for them?
See, the online pharmacy is not doing any good to the people. They can sell any other thing, not the medicines. As the pharmacy profession and the drugs, handling of the drugs, the technical matter, and there should be a person. Online, we can't do it. As a result of it, it is going to flop. It may help in a bulk supplies to hospital and other things. But when you are dealing with the patient, there must be a pharmacist, and because I have seen in almost 21 countries I visited where the pharmacy practice is well established. So there the online pharmacies are not successful because they may take something which is not drug, but especially the prescription drugs, ethical products. They should ban the online pharmacies. But there's no point because money is more important for us, for the patient. To save our 30% on medicines, is the patient is going to gain his health? I ask this question. Is the health is related to the money the patient saves on the medicine? It's better if he doesn't take any medicine, he'll be more healthier.
Yeah, this we have seen during the COVID time. So a lot of patients who did not get admitted to hospitals, they actually survived. But those who got admitted, they succumbed to.
Yeah, they suffered.
Yeah, so that was the case. But then, sir, for a starting, for a lot of, my juniors, for example, they have started.
See, sir, I will take an example of my father. My father in 1963, because in 1955, he got the license to practice, open a medical shop. In those times, there was no college. The government college of pharmacy gave a 3 weeks training and a certificate.
Okay.
And asked him and a license to practice. So from then onwards, he started building up his knowledge. He interacted with the medical representatives, and he befriended with the doctors. So those were the times when the people used to respect each other knowledge and importance. So these medical representatives, what they used to detail to the doctors, my father used to listen to them over a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, sometimes cigarettes. So this way, he became a perfect knowledge in this thing. So whenever a doctor wants to ask something, he was known for his knowledge in the community of the doctors and the community of this thing. They used to come and ask him. There's nothing like ego or anything like that. And one more good quality of my father, I will tell you, and also very much keen to the community. Here is what happened. My father started his community pharmacy, and he was very much having concern for the patients and public. He saw that many patients were getting killed for non-availability of one injection, that is snake bite, anti-snake bite venom. Anti-snake bite venom was manufactured in Hopkins Institute in Pune, and it has a very short duration of half-life, the shelf life. 6 months it used to expire, and it used to cost 500 rupees in those times. So my father always used to keep that medicine, irrespective of loss or gain, and no one used to keep that medicine, and everybody used to refer. You go there to Nagappa. He is having, actually Nagappa is my father's name, and my guide in PhD said that your name in certificate is like that, so you take the name Ananta Nayak Nagappa. I became A.N. Nagappa. Actually, my name is Ananta. So what happened in that times? The patients used to come in the night times only in the village when the snake bites, and my father used to go to medical shop and give the injection to them and save a life. So this type of image building has helped him, because he became very much successful as a pharmacist, and then he had a lot of money, so he diversified his business into fertilizers, into wholesale trading, other things. And ultimately what happened, somebody cheated him and he became pauper, virtually pauper. Then he came to his medical shop and opened. And at that time, the community, which knew the nature of Mr. Nagappa, they came with a prescription to Nagappa's shop. And they found out that if there is a medicine in that, they will buy it. Otherwise, then they will go to next shop. The first thing will be Nagappa's. Because this community is short. Harihar is a small town. Everybody know what happened to him, who cheated him, and how. And they wanted that Neo medical shop, Nagappa's medical shop, to be existing. That's why it was always, they came, and within 6 months, he reviewed his business. So this is what happens. If you are good to people, people are good to you. So community is always very active, but again, like it doesn't show off. That people think that there is nobody is looking at us. It's not so. It is always active, and people are observing what type of person you are, how do you deal with them, how do you talk with them, what is your intention, everything they are going to assess and they decide and judge and give you and come back to you whenever they want to help. If you are having a helping attitude, definitely they will come back to you.
I totally agree with you, sir. Thank you so much for pointing out that. And participants, if you have any questions, please do ask. You can raise your virtual hand, or also you can put in the chat box. I'll read out the questions for you. and sir is very happy. Sir will be very happy to answer your specific questions. It is always good to interact and ask the questions directly, because the kind of emotions you'll have during asking the questions, I cannot put that when I'm reading out your questions. Okay, so you can raise your virtual hand if you want to ask on Zoom, or you can put in the chat box if you are watching on YouTube. I'll read out the question for you from there. So we are here for some more time, and this session continues. So again, next week we'll meet at 2 o'clock. We'll have some more learnings. Some other speaker from the industry would be there, and this journey will continue. If you want to suggest somebody, you're most welcome. You have
sir, I would like to give a call to all the principals, directors here.
Definitely.
So I have given this presentation in Shantaram College of Pharmacy in Nandyal. In Chhattisgarh, Bharat College of Pharmacy, Bharati College of Pharmacy. There, after my lecture, there was a community connect program they have initiated, and I'm guiding them online. And it is going to do good to this thing. So my ultimate aim is pharmaceutical care everywhere, and I will be very happy to address all the colleges, all the students of India, which may not be possible for me, but online I'm still struggling. If anybody is interested, please contact me.
Absolutely, sir.
We can start that. Actually, Community Connect, after this lecture, there is again a reorganization and technology transfer, know-how, all these things are there. And these things we have to do it. Although it appears simple, but again, when you come to practice, there is a problem. When you want to meet a people and talk about it, at that time you get a lot of ghabrahat, as it used to happen.
Absolutely, sir. Yeah,
so this type of things we will try to overcome by our constant. For the student, communication skills will improve, and this internship certificate, is going to help them. If they do it for 2 months, internship is there for 2 months, 4 months, and 6 months, or 5 months and 3 months internship also is there. And please look at our website. I'm going to give you here. Please look at our website, www.actiindia.in. All in small letters.
Yeah, so this is the website, participants, for all of you. And if you're watching on YouTube, I'll put that on YouTube as well. So do visit the website and learn more about pharmaceutical care. And if you want to connect with sir, definitely his number was displayed at the beginning of the presentation. And also we'll share that in the chat box. So you can note down his number, you can connect with him and learn more about pharmaceutical care. And he'll be more than happy to set up a system for you wherein you can start a pharmaceutical care or pharma care at your own place. And this is very important for us to establish, the identity, the lost identity of pharmacists that we are still struggling with. And this will be a new beginning for sure to, connect directly with the patients and help them take care of their disease in a much more better way. So with this, if there are no more questions, we'll end this session, and we'll meet next week at 2 o'clock again. And please stay tuned. You are there on Telegram. So if you're there on Telegram, you'll get the information there. And if you are there on LinkedIn, I will share the information on LinkedIn as well.
Manoj, I have taken some screenshots. I want to, for media purpose.
What screenshots?
Some photos and screenshots of this session.
Yeah, this recording I'll be sharing with you, sir. This recording is made available. Soon after the session ends, the recording will be shared to the groups, and also to you. I'll be sending the recording, and definitely we'll keep you updated. So there is one question from Shraddha from YouTube, sir. How to keep ourselves updated about banned combinations of molecules or drugs?
Repeat again.
How to keep ourselves updated about banned combinations of molecules or drugs. So banned drugs or molecules.
See, that is available in the CEDESCO. Regulators ban that,
Yeah.
So regulators' websites, you can check it. Otherwise, for the sake of the knowledge, for giving the patient counseling, patient doesn't want very exclusive knowledge like that. They don't want any academic knowledge. They want to just help. For their help, they will ask.
Absolutely.
Isn't it? So we must have an attitude to help. That's all. So automatically, whatever you have learnt in your career or BPharm syllabus, that is more than enough. The answers will come up. You will wonder that how I am able to answer these questions, because everything is in your subconsciousness, and that gabrat and all is superficial. When
Yeah.
somebody asks you some help, automatically you will come up with a good answers.
Absolutely, sir.
This I have experienced.
Yeah, I have experienced
Has,
that too.
has solved so many important issues, and I was wondering how could I answer all these questions.
Yeah, it happens. And to add some points to the sir's response, Shraddha, for you, you can check out CDSCO's website. They keep updating all the time whenever a combination is banned. And if you are a registered pharmacist, you also get a notification from the council. Here in Karnataka, we publish something called as drug information newsletter. We keep publishing the information about banned combinations. So if you wherever you are, if you are registered with your pharmacy council, they also should be notifying you. So these are some places, and you also get information published online about these banned combinations. So stay connected and keep learning. Thank you so much, sir, for answering that question, and thank you, Shraddha, for asking that question. Any other questions, guys? We are here for another few minutes, and if you have any questions,
just a small question.
Yes, sir.
How many participants were there in this session?
Yeah, so we had 15 on Zoom and about 16 people on YouTube. Right now, we have 13 people watching us live.
Good.
And this recording will be available. So now it's for many colleges, students, it's working time and their colleges are open. So that may be one reason why we don't have many participants, but the recording is always available. So you can watch it anytime, no problem. Yes, sir. So any other questions, guys? We have already overshot the time by 28 minutes. So if you don't have any questions, we are good to go, and we'll be closing the session. Okay, no questions. So thank you so much, everyone, for your time, and thank you so much, sir, for your time and spending time with us and sharing all the knowledge that you have with respect to pharmaceutical care. I'm sure 1 hour is definitely not enough to share all this practical knowledge that you have got for so many years, 30 plus years of your experience as pharmacist. But definitely you have, crunched that information and briefed us in a very, very short period of time. So thank you so much, sir. And thank you so much, all the participants, for your time. I really appreciate the time that you have given to us. And I'm sure we are able to add some value to your existing learning. And that's the whole objective of all these sessions that we do. And stay connected, and we'll be coming up with some new topic next week, next Saturday at 2 p.m. And this Saturday learning journey will continue. The recordings of all the sessions are available on my YouTube channel. You have more than 48 plus recordings right now for all the webinars that I have done. You may watch them at your convenience and be practical. So practice whatever we learn, because just by knowing and not doing is as good as not knowing. So let's practice, and let's take the profession to the next level. And together only it is possible for us to help each other and create a difference in the community and make a difference for the profession. Just talking and not doing is of no use. So let's get up together and stand up together. Let's connect together and help something for the profession. And Anand sir is very much confident that we will be able to make difference, and he's there to guide us. If you need any kind of support in setting up your community pharmacy practice, please do reach out to him. And we also have other speakers who have spoken about community pharmacy. So there are 2-3 videos on my YouTube channel. You can watch them as well. Mr. Raj Vaidya is there. I forgot her name. So with Dr. Vidya, she is also from Alamin College. She also spoke about community pharmacy. Those videos are there. You can please watch and then learn more about the different aspects of this community pharmacy. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Suresh, for that Thank you. Thank you so much. And we'll definitely meet next week for another learning journey specific to pharmacy community and healthcare. And of course, I do a lot of sessions on medical writing as well. So if you are interested in medical writing, you may please connect with me as well. Perfect. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, sir. And with this, we end up the session today, and we'll meet next week again. Thank you so much. And we'll definitely meet next week. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I wish you all a wonderful weekend ahead. Thank you so much. So if you are interested in medical writing, you may please connect with me as well. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.